you do when you find a seriously cute cupboard like this and you have way too many paints and you need some new storage. First thought when I got my hands in this cupboard was to restore it. Then I realised it was in seriously bad shape. So I decided to go in there with my sander and see what was underneath. I mean, I wasn't totally blown away with the wood underneath. It wasn't like a dun 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 moment. So I decided, and don't hate me, to paint it. I filled all the dings in the wood with wood filler first, and I couldn't help but thinking that the cabinet was starting to look like me with my pimple cream on before I go to bed. Then I had this idea that I could paint it using swatches of my favourite colours. When I'm choosing paints for a project, I always like to paint a swatch onto an A4 piece of paper, and I keep them to refer to over time. But these swatches take up so much room, and I realised perhaps I could do that to the front of the cabinet. So I filled all the holes in the cabinet and painted the whole thing white. It was a bit tricky to work out how I wanted to lay out the paint samples on the front, but I ended up drawing a grid, which actually was harder than I thought it would be. Next, it was time to decide how to lay out the colours. I was initially thinking a random look, but then I decided to group them in colours and do darkest to lightest. Once I'd planned the layout, I was really excited to get started and paint those swatches onto the cabinet. This was really therapeutic, but took all afternoon because I had to clean the paintbrush between every single colour. The last step was to write the colour names below the swatch so I could easily refer to them and pick a colour when I have a new project. The last thing to do was to fill it with all my paint. I decided to organise all my paints based on the colours on the front of the cabinet, and there we go, my paint swatch cabinet is done. I absolutely love how it looks, and the inside is so beautiful, all cleaned up as well.